I'd like to start this video with a question. How often do you see phrases like community, next candidate, or fair launch in token descriptions? Maybe you even written something like that yourself. But in this video, I'll explain and, more importantly, show with a real example how all of my tokens managed to gain insane liquidity in a short period of time, and how ROI in all of them exceeds 600%. Why exactly my method allows a token to get a strong start instead of blending in with all those tokens full of IoT promises. In this video, in a live format, I'll walk you through the entire process, what happens during token creation, how to list it properly, and what to do next. But first, before we go any further, a quick note. Everything I'm about to share is the result of my personal experience and hands-on practice within the Solana ecosystem. I'm sharing a method that in the current market works really well specifically for me and significantly enhances the token launch itself. During this process, I deliberately moved away from standard promotion strategies and focused on how a token enters the market, timing, liquidity structure, and the initial on-chain reaction. The approach turned out to be not the most obvious, but that's exactly what allowed me to see how the market behaves without external noise or artificial hype. At some point, it became clear that this experience was worth breaking down separately. So, today I'm going to tell you about a method I found on a forum and after slightly refining it, managed to achieve these kinds of results. In this method, it's very important to understand the mechanics behind how it works. So I'll try to show everything in as much detail as possible. First, we need to open this website. You can see it on the screen. The advantage of platforms like this is that you can quickly get your token visible on trackers like dexscreener, Axiom, and others. Next, we do a bit of analysis and find something that already has activity, working alongside what the market is already reacting to. Then comes token creation. I don't think I need to explain this part in detail, so let's just quickly create something. You can come up with something more original, but while I'm filling this out, you can think about it in advance so you don't waste time on this step later. And now the most important part, the newest and key feature that everything will depend on, the developer address of the token. Let me explain what it does. In short, it replaces the developer's address, but this doesn't affect us or the user in any way. We don't lose control over the token, it's only visible in our side. Now let me explain how this looks first from the market's perspective, and then from ours. As you all know, there are tons of bots in the market that can read everything and make decisions in fractions of seconds. But what are these bots internally? Bots are sets of instructions that trigger when creating conditions are met, and active pool liquidity or the key factor for us is the developer address. When the market sees a large wallet that we inserted, it attracts a significant number of bots and traders. From a trader's perspective, it looks like the token is deployed with strong initial liquidity. In my example, that's 3 SOL, but the number isn't that important. You can use less or more. By the way, here's that wallet you should use as a reference. Remember, it's approximate characteristics. The key is to act quickly while the activity is still intense. Now let's break down how all my tokens became profitable using a real example. This is a great case that clearly shows how the market actually moves. It uses a non-standard but highly effective approach, minimal starting liquidity combined with a wallet holding at solid SOL balance. Here's what happens. Visually, everything looks strong. Participants see a powerful address and automatically project trust onto it without even analyzing the pool size. As a result, early buyers enter at the lowest possible price. And as soon as demand appears, the chart literally shoots up. I use the same mechanics. The starting point is always a wallet with a large SOL balance. This isn't just a technical detail, it's about perception. The token itself is created in a standard way without unnecessary complexity. The key lies on how liquidity is configured. To make the token appear on trackers like dexscreener, you need to create a pool. This can be done via pump swap or classic options like radio. I do it directly through the interface where all parameters are set immediately. Now the interesting part, how much SOL to add as liquidity and how many tokens to include. These parameters can be adjusted later, but the start defines the entire movement pattern. I usually add 3 SOL. It tested setup. It provides a stable and manageable start. You can go with 1 SOL, but then the chart becomes more volatile and less predictable. In terms of distribution, about 90% of tokens go into the pool. This creates proper depth and allows trading without major imbalances. I set the fee at 2%, a balance between activity and control. After that, I assign the wallet address. It becomes the main holder. Then comes the launch. I pay for creation, confirm the transaction, and receive the contract address. Next step is verification. I open it in SolScan, copy it, and paste it into dexscreener. The token appears almost instantly, and that's when movements begins. First comes the bots, but quickly detect the new pool, enter with small amounts, and test liquidity. It's like a warm-up. Then real participants join in, and they form the main trend. Within minutes, the market starts moving on its own. Volume, impulses, reactions. It's important to understand the liquidity shown on the dexscreener appear higher than it actually is, because it includes the token's valuation. This can create an illusion of greater depth. After that, everything depends on participant behavior, buying, selling, overall sentiment. Right now, there's renewed interest in memecoins within the Solana ecosystem, so these models can actually work. But there's a nuance. Working strategies don't last long. Once they become popular, their effectiveness drops. So the key isn't just knowing the approach, it's using it at the right time, while it still gives you an edge. We look at the price dynamics and see that the line is moving without dips, which means there's trading activity. That means bots have already started reacting and are actively entering trades. You can view this in more detail in the liquidity section. Metrics update instantly there. There's also the most important and usable button, the one that allows you to fully close the position. The platform handles all technical processes so the user doesn't need to interact with contracts manually. After the operation, funds are transferred to your wallet. The Solana ecosystem is still very active. We only looked at one launch approach, but it's important to understand that even this method will soon start to break down. That's how it usually goes. New methods appear, old ones stop working. The key takeaway is learning to track the mechanics themselves, to catch the right moment, to structure the launch process correctly, and to understand how initial liquidity is formed. Understanding the mechanics gives you more than blindly copying.